All right, hi there, and welcome back to the last session of this AI lunch break using AI for audio content, voice, music, and more. A big thank you to the Solano Napa and Sonoma SBDCs who make this possible. If you are not already a client, please go ahead. You can sign up at norcalsbdc.org/join to get started. If you've joined us before, awesome. If this is your first time, welcome. This is a fast, practical session focused on real tools and strategies that you can use right now on your phone or laptop. I'm Kathy Balick, a regional AI specialist and expert in marketing. So let's get into it. So this is about audio, and why does audio matter? Audio is everywhere. So it's in podcasts, social media, ads, music, and jingles, and more of it's being created and consumed than ever before. 81% of Americans now use voice tech at least weekly. 58% of consumers use voice search and local to find their local businesses. And of those, 28% end up making a phone call, and those leads tend to convert faster and spend more. So I want you to think about voice in different ways, how you can use it as a tool, but also just know that your clients are using it a lot. So today I am going to talk about AI audio for your phone, AI voiceovers, and AI music very specifically. So let me get to the second. I'm going to need to share my screen. There we go. Share. Okay. Come on. Brianna, can you see that?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. 1 second, I still need to do one more thing on my screen. There we go. That should be popping up now. Okay, so audio on your mobile phone. Generative AI apps on the mobile have exploded. What this means for you is first, how you consider how you're using audio on the phone, and second, how you realize that your customers are doing this already. So I want to show you, whoops, get there. So today I'm going to lead you through an example. I'm going to pretend that I'm the owner of an Italian restaurant, and as I work through some of these demos. So now you can all see my phone screen. If you aren't doing it already, I want you to start thinking of your phone as a virtual assistant that goes with you wherever you are. The great thing about some AI tools is that they will converse with you. You can see my screen with the top 4 rows. For top 4 rows, not top 4, sorry, I'm in the wrong one there. There's my top 4 rows that are all AI tools. So first, I just want to get you thinking about using your mobile regularly. So let's say I suddenly have an idea. How can I attract more tourists to my Italian restaurant in Napa, especially couples on romantic getaways? So let's say I'm going to start with ChatGPT. And though I can do voice, the main thing I'm talking about over here is this button, which is going to be really where I'm conversing with ChatGPT. So I simply tap my mic. I have an Italian restaurant in Napa and want help with Facebook post ideas, focusing on attracting tourists, especially couples who are on romantic vacations. Can you give me some ideas?
Absolutely. Let's make those posts stand out. For a romantic vibe, you could highlight special dishes that are perfect for sharing, like your limited time grilled peach caprese with burrata. You could also do posts about the ambiance. Think candlelit tables, live music, and cozy corners. Maybe even share stories of couples who've celebrated anniversaries or engagements at your restaurant. That kind of content can really resonate with tourists looking for a special dining experience.
Okay, Brianna, you heard that okay?
I heard that great. Thank you so much.
Great. So I'm going to go over and it mentioned a dish because I was already doing this, just doing a quick test. So funny enough, I'm going to go over and do exactly the same thing in Gemini. And I want to show you with Gemini, you have a microphone here, but the main thing on the far right is Google Live. So this little icon there on the far bottom right is meant for back and forth conversations. So I'm going to click on it. I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I have an Italian restaurant in Napa and want help with Facebook post ideas focusing on attracting tourists, especially couples who are on romantic vacations. Can you give me some ideas?
For couples, how about highlighting special dishes, perfect for sharing? Think about an image of a couple
A
sharing
little
a
bit
plate of
low.
spaghetti. Okay,
For
how
some
about
reason,
this?
the
You could
sound's
post a
coming out
photo
a
of,
little bit low.
Yeah, it's considerably lower than the first one.
I'm not sure why that's happening. Maybe try turning up the volume on your device?
There we go. I'm just going to stop that for now. Okay, well, I'm not going to worry about that for now because that's it hears me saying that too, right? But the main thing is that we could start going back and forth, and this isn't a one-off. This is a conversation. So now we can keep going. So I like, I like that idea. I like such and such idea. What can you give me next? I keep trying to hit it on my screen, and I can't hit it on my screen. It's over here. It's on my phone. So, and even though you're not seeing it, let me see, let's go back to ChatGPT also. And it will do exactly the same thing with both of these, which it's going to give me a transcript. So if I am having a conversation, I can have all of this recorded. So now I can go back on my laptop maybe and work on this, or I can just do it directly from my phone if I'm going to be working on, let's say, a social media post. This will be plenty. So this is going to give me everything that I need. And for those of you who attended last week, even better with ChatGPT is I can go to, if you recall, I've got my custom GPTs right up here, and I've got my projects. So especially under my project, I might put a special project, and maybe I will call that social media ideas, or I will put it messages while I'm driving, right? So, whatever it is that I can do something and keep track of it so that I can come back to it later. So that's what I want you to get out of this is that you're thinking about how you're going to regularly start interacting. And then you can start picking back up again. And I come back to ChatGPT and it says, I like that idea of the shared stories for anniversaries. Can you give me an idea for a post about that?
Sure thing. You could do a post featuring a real couple who recently celebrated their anniversary at your restaurant. Maybe share a beautiful photo of their table setting and include a little caption about what they enjoyed most about their evening. You could say something like, celebrating love at our cozy corner of Napa. Last week, we had the pleasure of hosting Sarah and James for their 10th anniversary. They loved our grilled peach caprese and toasted with a glass of local sparkling wine. Cheers to many more years of joy and delicious memories. It's a great way to make your restaurant feel personal and inviting.
All right. So that's the main thing I'm just trying to get you thinking about is using your phone, interacting with it. And I can come back to that conversation, right? I jumped over to Gem and I came back to this conversation. So really wonderful tool. Another tool I want to show you, especially, let's see, especially want to show you. So again, I've got my different AI tools up here. Those are two I use. I use Perplexity a lot for answering questions all the time. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Suno and Levin Reader today too, but I'm going to show you those on a desktop. But what I do want to show you on my phone is Otter. So Otter is an interesting tool that can, if you may be familiar like with Zoom meetings, you've sometimes seen it pop up, but I don't use it in Zoom since with Zoom I can use um, recordings, I can get transcripts, and now I can also get summaries in Zoom for those of you who are using Zoom and don't know that. But Otter creates transcripts on your phone too, which I find really helpful. And it does have a free version, which gives you, I think it's 300 minutes a month. So you can have, I mean, that's 5, 6, 1 hour meetings or a whole bunch of small meetings or a whole bunch of small transcriptions. So it's actually very helpful. So let me get out of this and just say, give you an example. So let's just say I'm going to record an idea while it's fresh in my head. Instead of typing or relying on memory, I just open Otter. And at this bottom here, you're going to see a little microphone, the blue button. And I just click record. Idea for La Notte Romantica, a 3-course prefix dinner for 2, maybe include a house-made limoncello for the menu as well. Ask Antonio about creating a about creating a special appetizer. Launch in August. Didn't do a very good job speaking, but lunch in August. But here's the great thing is this is going to record everything for me, right? It's not ready yet. It's still doing it right now. But it's going to transcribe. It's going to do it pretty quickly. And I can go back even on my desktop, which I'm going to show you in a minute, and copy that text and email to my staff, drop it off. So I can work on the same thing consistently between ChatGPT, between, so my AI tools and also tools like this, Otter. So it could be very seamless. Help me, so now I can go ahead and turn turn some of these things that I have into to-do notes or into flyers, and we can keep going on and I can keep planning with it. But again, Otter's more about me putting my ideas that I already have and recording my thoughts as I go along. But it's also great for in-person meetings. So let's say I just finished a meeting with, I mentioned Antonio about figuring out the menu. Let's say I met with Antonio, or I'm going to meet with Antonio, and we're brainstorming summer specials while standing in the kitchen. Unfortunately, I can't demo this meeting, right, while teaching this class. So I already did this. I already have auto record the whole thing. And you're going to see this right here on my phone. So there it is. There's a transcript. So it just sees it as speaker 1, speaker 2, though I can change that. I can say who it was. And there's my summaries, and check that out. This is one thing I really love about this is, gave me some really nice action items that I can use. Little outline, all of this kind of stuff is there. So I'm going to stop my share and I'm going to go over now to my desktop, and we're going to use the desktop for the rest of the time. Let's see. 2, 3, okay. 3 screens gets confusing sometimes. All right, so here is what Otter looks like. And you're going to see there's my note. Now it's transcribed, my note to myself. Sometimes it won't do a summary if it's too short, right? There was right there, just a little note to myself, but it's there, which is really helpful. And the other thing that you're going to see is here's the meeting that I recorded as if it was myself and Antonio planning on this. So I can go right into this. And here's the same thing I showed you on my phone. So we've got the summary. Here's the transcript. I can even mention who the person was. This is my little alias. So it's going to confirm. It's going to change all the people who are speaker 1, me. And then I could also write a name to the second person. So now I've got the full documentation of this. But most importantly, I can go back and I could say, ooh, what would we talk about? That grilled peach caprese as a standout paired with, and I can just copy that and paste it into the place that I want. So really helpful and amazing tool. Like I said, it has a great free, a limitation, but great for capturing things. So now let's say I have the menu item I want. I want this grilled peach caprese. I have this item, and I want to do a quick ad or a social media reel to promote this new peach caprese special. I've already written a short script, but instead of recording my own voice, I want a polished professional sound, something that's going to be ready to go. And this is where AI voiceovers come in. So next I'm going to demo. Let me click my demo here, open these up. And I'm going to demo 11 Labs, which is really wonderful for demos and for voiceovers. And here we have text to speech. You're going to notice they have other things here too. They have voice changer, sound effects, some very cool tools. It's a very advanced option here. So I mentioned I already have written the short script, so I've got that ready. But instead of my own voice again, so now I'm going to use a professional voice, something that's ready to go. And I have options over here, and I can play them ahead of time. Let me make sure. Brianna, tell me that you can hear this.
There is no greater harm than that of time wasted.
I can hear
you hear
that.
that okay?
I can hear it. It's a little quiet, but I can hear it.
Okay, let me see if I can do anything to turn it up. Let's try that. Anyways, there's a whole bunch of voices, and I can go through them and figure out exactly what I want. So let's say I'm going to get here and I'm going to choose this one.
If one is lucky, a solitary fantasy can totally transform 1 million realities.
Sounds interesting. I have no idea if it's going to sound good for this, but I can go ahead and generate, and we'll see how this is going. So again, this is a free version.
Experience the taste of Tuscany.
Oh, that's
without
a little
leaving Napa. At my little Napa Ristorante, we're serving up our limited time grilled peach caprese with burrata, fresh mint.
It's a little too low, right? So I might find other ones that I like more.
Ideas are the beginning points of.
There's some other ones. What's interesting under here too is that I can do some searches, and I can search for Italian. Now these are actually speaking Italian, so if I do Giovanni.
The ballot is stronger than the bullet.
Oh no, Giovanni was actually part of my regular list. But in here, these ones also came up, and these ones are going to be speaking Italian.
Bella bro, vuoi una vocecilla genuina?
So I don't want that, of course, but I could have chosen Giovanni. That might be a good option. And there is another one that I found really interesting under here, for example, which was Antonio.
Hey there, I can't wait to get started. My voice is quite versatile. Do you need a calm, explanatory voice?
So you'll notice this check mark over here. I have to have the paid version to use this, so I'm not going to be able to generate this with this one. I could, however, generate with Giovanni. You notice that's not there. But if I really have the need to do something like this is a great tool for, if I'm going to do, let's say, a series, this would be well worth it for this tool to invest in this. The other great thing about this tool that is amazing is that you can clone your voice. So if you're doing a lot of voice work, I really highly suggest checking out 11 Labs as a tool. Now, I also want to demo over here. I'm going to, let's get rid of this. I am in Canva, which hardly a session goes by without mentioning Canva, right? Canva also has AI voice generation now, believe it or not, which is pretty amazing. And it's right down in here on the left. You can see me going over this AI voice. And I've already got it in here, what I want it to say. Normally it will default, right? It will default over here. And there's only 4 voices. They're really limited.
At my little Napa Ristorante, we're serving up our limited time grilled peach caprese with burrata.
I can tell you none of these were great for this purpose. I already tried them. But what was really cool is that I come down here and I find Italian, and check this out.
At my little Napa Ristorante, we're serving up our limited time grilled peach caprese with burrata.
Oh, I'm liking that. I think that's actually pretty good. So even this, and this comes free with the paid version. So I'm going to go ahead and generate that voice. So you can use this in anything: video, reels, website intros, training materials. Just think about how you can use some of these voiceovers. And then once that's done, you'll see that automatically put that here. So let me move this over just so you don't see it. So I've already got this ready.
At
like
my
I
little
said.
Napa Ristorante.
Whoops, let me just start from the beginning. So I've already got this little ad that I want to do, right? And maybe I'll shorten it a little bit. So I'm not going to want my voiceover to start immediately. I'm going to want it to slide in there somewhere. So I'm going to give it a few seconds to start something. But basically what I'm going to try to do with this video which we already had a class on AI. Well, anyways, what I'm going to try to do with this video is to have voiceover, and I'm going to add music both, which I'm going to show you next. So anyways, very nice way of having the voice. And
At my little Napa ristorante, we're serving up our limited time grilled pizza.
there we go. And so I've already got now my voice that I want. But let's say, like I said, we want to add some background music. If we're using Canva, we can, one thing I would really suggest you do first is look at stock music. There is great stock music in Canva. Sometimes you don't always need to use AI. And this is also one of the messages about AI is find what tools you already have. So, but if I wanted to find something, this is how I would do it. Let's say Italian restaurant. I want to get the right vibe and see what comes up. I already know that this one's pretty good. And what I can do is click on its three dots and it tells me a little bit about the licensing, which is a commercial use allowed. And if I click on this information, you can see what that means exactly. I can use it in my marketing or social media, whatever. So it is available things. I just can't take credit for it, trademark it, or anything else. But that's fine. I'm not trying to. So I can just pull that in here. And let me pull this back to the beginning here and move this all the way to the beginning. And now I've got something. It's probably too long, right? The voice wasn't quite as long as it could have been, but it'll still give you an idea. There's going to always be a little bit of fiddling here. The main thing I need to do with it, so let me play this first so you can see where it's up to.
At my little Napa ristorante.
So you're going to notice the music is really too loud. So for this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on volume. And I usually bring this down to about 10 to 12. And I'm going to pull it way down. And the other thing I'm going to do is, especially for the music, is I want it to fade in and out. So I'm going to do a light fade in, and then I'm going to do a big fade out. Let's see how that looks.
At my little Napa ristorante, we're serving up our limited time grilled peach caprese with burrata, fresh mint, and a drizzle of balsamic. Perfect for a romantic night out. Reserve your table today.
Pretty cool, right? So that's how quick it took me to get exactly what I want. If you want to create other AI background music, I'm going to talk about music next. And I can't get good stock music. There are two really great options, which are SoundDraw and Suno. So SoundDraw is an interesting option that you will have to pay to do the download, but there are no copyright issues. There aren't any copyright issues with what I'm talking about, but this is trained only, you can actually copyright your music from here is what I'm trying to say. It was trained only on music that were created by this company. So it's actually a really good ethical option if you're a little bit iffy about, okay, how were these models trained and stuff like that. So if you're feeling, that you want to be more balanced about some of the ethicality, this is a great option. And it's a super easy to use. I'm using this for a little reel, so I'm just going to put it on 30 seconds. Actually, before we go to that, let me select the genre is usually best. So I'm going to choose acoustic. And here are my options up here. So I have genre, and I've already chose my acoustic. I'm going to choose the mood. Let's see, I certainly want romantic. Let's say sentimental. I can choose more than one mood. The theme, let's do travel. I've got the length at 30 seconds. Tempo, I don't want it to be slow or fast. So I'm just going to uncheck those, and I've got normal. And instruments, I certainly don't want keyboard, synth. I don't want any of these kind of things. I want strings. What voice does. I'm still not sure about that. But I'm going to leave those checked. And there we go. And now I'm going to click generate, and let's see what we get for this. And it's going to immediately create a bunch of tracks. And if you notice, here are the lists. So here's what I've told it I want. Let's see if these are ready to go. It's not doing Italian right. It's a little different than that. It doesn't work the same. That's pretty nice though. And I can even, for advanced stuff, I can even do things to change the music down here. Right? And like I said, I've got a lot more examples than that. Okay. Pretty good. Like I said, here are the other options. I got 6 out of those. I can keep generating. I'm going to have to pay when I want to download what I want, but a lovely tool to play. It's so easy, SoundDraw. Okay, the other one I want to talk about, of course, is one that I absolutely adore, which is Suno. The thing I like about Suno is it includes great, voice options. So for lyrics, so I can create great lyrics with either AI in Suno, which I can do by here. You'll see these things down here by line, full song. I can have a simple where I give it just kind of what I want in general. But the way I'm going to use it is a little different. So first I want to show you 2 examples with Suno. First one is an instrumental. So you'll notice that lyrics went away. And I already have a prompt for what kind of music I want. So I'm going to put this in here, style. And I'm looking for, I put especially 1950s Italian cafe vibe, plus some other things about the instruments I want, any kind of things that are going to be helpful. And then I'm going to add a name. I'm not going to worry about all this other stuff. These are extra little things, advanced things that you can get to. And I simply could create. Now I do have a paid version here, but they do have, again, a wonderful free version that gives you a limitation to how much you can use it. And I suspect as the moment that you start downloading it and using it, you probably have to pay. But at least you can make sure you like it. And let's see how these go. Oh, that's nice. So I'm definitely getting what I want. And if I don't, I can start playing around with the styles and keep playing around again. But now let's say instead I want to create a jingle instead of a full song. And I could have Suno write the lyrics, but I also wrote my own, and I'm going to bring these in. So I'm going to put my lyrics right here. So I wrote these, and I wrote them with ChatGPT, but you can write them just personally, however you want. I'm going to do a little different thing here. I'm adding this just because the songs are used to being a little bit longer in Suno. It's not really meant for jingles, so I'm going to have it sing the same thing over and over again, so that I want it to at least start quickly with the music and not hang about too long. In fact, I'll put this for fade out, because maybe the last one might be the best because there's a nice easy fade out. I'm going to change the name ever so slightly. I have background, let's just call it jingle, and let's hit create. Suno is going to create 2 songs, and we'll see how this goes. I did create some already because sometimes you don't know if things are being held up, but everything's moving quickly today. So let's play these jingles.
At my little restaurant, love's in the air. Grilled peaches, burrata, a perfect pair. Fresh mint dancing, balsamic kiss, a summer night you don't want to miss. Romance on a...
Okay, that would be pretty good. So what I could do from here is simply download the song. Again, I'm not going to go through all of this, but I could download it and I could come back into Canva and I could upload it instead of using what I did there. And now I would have the full song with, the jingle, and in Canva, this would be over here in upload. So I would upload my file, pull it in. When I upload a file, it will be there permanently. If I just create a voiceover and I delete it, it's gone. So just know those couple of little differences. Okay, so today we covered audio on your mobile phone, voiceovers, and music. And this workshop was brought to you by Sonoma and Solano Napa SBDCs. We are here to help you with your business. Take care, everybody, and sign up with the SBDC.